Hey, everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and we are live here in Dallas at GLOMO HQ in studio with none other than my friend Anu Dattani from Universal Relocations. Anu, how are you doing today?
Absolutely amazing as ever, Ben. How are you?
I'm phenomenal. You're here with me. We're hanging out. This is awesome. I love having people in studio. We're actually gonna move our studio soon.
Is that right? Okay, where at?
Yep. So if you know a mover,
Oh,
holler at me.
you're talking to
Holler at
live.
me. I think no lie, for real though. Like a 4-hour mini would be fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, we're moving over the weekend. It got pushed out. We were supposed to move tomorrow,
Okay,
and now it got pushed out. So we're moving on Saturday or Sunday.
big moves.
Yeah, so we're making stuff happen. Hit that like button if you got any moving tips for me, any office moving tips. Let me know. We're here with Anu. We're going to talk about how we met at IAM. We're going to talk about what it's like to be a young professional in the moving and global relocation industry, what it's like to be kind of second generation in a business. How are you finding the moving industry? What's it like to be a young woman in this industry? I want to hear about all that stuff. And we're even going to get some hot takes on everything from fashion to oysters to what the best club spots are in New York City.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about everything you really want to know about. Get in the comments. Put your questions for Anu in the comments. I want to know what you want to know. Hit that like button right now. Let's get it going here. We're live on LinkedIn. Ray Abbott checking in here. Want to know where you are. Ray, you're up in Canada, typically, right? West side. He's over there in British Columbia, I think. Michael Quigley, Ace is in the house. Watch out. There goes the neighborhood. Mike Quigley, good to see you, buddy. Sandra Clary, hi, Anu. Looking forward to seeing you in
Hey
Toronto.
Sandra, miss you.
You gonna be in Toronto at the IAM conference?
Absolutely.
Oh,
IM is my most favorite
yeah,
conference out of everything
it's the
that's out there.
best.
The best.
It's the best.
Yep.
That's where we met too at
We did.
IAM.
Yes, we did. Not too long ago.
Not too long ago
Yep.
in Atlanta last year.
That's correct.
I thought honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought I've known you longer than a year.
Oh, it feels
It
though.
feels
Yeah, yeah.
well because you came to my birthday party. I was
We're
at
besties now.
Yes,
Yep.
we're like legit homies now. We hung out in New York together. You met my friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
I met you in Atlanta, and I have my 40th birthday coming up. Like,
A week later, I believe.
yeah, like
Yeah.
2 weeks later,
Yep.
and I'm like, "You live in Manhattan?" I
Yeah.
was like, "I'm throwing a party for myself, and I need people to come to my party. Like, you should come through.
It
Come."
was a fun party, one of a kind.
Did you enjoy it?
Absolutely.
Do you remember anything about the party? Because I don't.
Re-
Can you refresh me?
I really liked the food,
Yeah,
the stand-up comedy. That was like a fun addition to it.
we did.
Yeah.
We had like 5 stand-up comedians at
Mm-hmm.
my party.
Mm-hmm.
That was a choice. That was an interesting, brave choice. Yeah, thank you for being there.
Thank you
That's
for
really cool.
having
And
me.
now you came to Dallas
Yes,
to
just to
hang out.
see you. Yep.
This is awesome. It's so nice. But you also have an office here in
I
Dallas.
do, but that wasn't my priority, was it?
Well, if they're watching, you are a priority. You good people at Universal Relocations. Anu Dattani cares very deeply for you all. Okay.
I do. I do. They're my babies.
Yes. But your office is here in Dallas. What kind of work do y'all do over there?
We concentrate on residential relocation, interstate, intrastates,
Okay.
international, of course.
So you're doing like local long distance moving as well as
Yes, we
the
are.
international
Mm-hmm.
side. Oh,
Exactly.
that's really interesting. I want to learn more about that. Julia O'Connor says, Anu.
Hey, Julia. She's the best. Have you met Julia
Of course,
O'Connor, the
Julia's the
famous
bomb.
darling? Yep.
Yeah, she's the bomb. Julia's great. I've known Julia for a long time.
Yep.
Adam says it's been almost a full year since we met. So fun having you at GLOMO
Thank you,
HQ.
Adam.
Yes, thank you. Look, Ray's from Vancouver. Love it. Matthew O'Dyke.
Matthew.
Shout out to Anu, our lovely YP board member. You rock.
That's right.
Tell people out there who don't know, what is the YP board?
The YP board, Young Professionals of IAM. It's a community for people 39 years old and younger. It's just a glitch.
Why you look at me for just now? You just looked at me. You said 39 or younger.
No.
Loaded glance.
I feel like you're 32. So
I feel like I am too.
yeah.
so funny because when I started getting into the YP,
Mm-hmm.
I was hardcore. We got to have standards, people. We got to make this thing mean something. It's got to be 40 or below 40. We
Yeah.
can't start, we give into the 40-year-olds, and then the 41-year-olds are coming. And
Yeah.
before we know it, the 50s and the 60s, and what do we even stand for? And now I turned 40 and I'm like, can we get some inclusion in this place? Can we all, what happened? Like all of a
Right.
sudden,
I feel like I'm eventually gonna get there,
you got some
but
time though.
yeah, probably like 15, 16
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the YP social mixer, we all love it. Everybody shows up there. It's not just like 40 and below.
Yeah.
So, which
So y'all
I'm,
let us in. You know why?
yeah,
Because we pay for the parties. That's
that's
what we
right.
do. That's what
We
the
get the
OPs
funding
do.
from there. Yep.
Yeah. Deep pockets. Y'all are fun. We're funded. That's the difference. All right. Ray Abbott says, I am rocks. So where's the party going to be this year? Do you know?
This year, it's gonna be at a bar right by the convention, North
Yep.
Metro Convention Hall, and it's kind of like a resto bar, I believe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wonder if, is it the Whistle Stop? I wonder if it's the
Believe
train
so.
station or
Yes.
not. It might be. I don't know. We probably need more details there. Yeah, it's going to be great. Matthew says, and you can still buy tickets for the YP party.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew, put if you got a link in there or something, put that in there. Let us know. Maury Stevens says, checking in. Everybody, see everybody in a couple of weeks. What's up, Maury? Good to see you. Mark Kennedy in Hotlanta. Great show. Well, TBD, Mark. Annie Ream, great meeting you today and having you here at GLOMO. Annie Ream, newest member of the GLOMO team. Dropping bars over here. Cassandra, hello from Tampa. What's going on? Another Sandra here. As an unofficial rep of the OPs, we applaud the industry's rising stars. And see, thank you, Sandra, for being so nice and diplomatic there. So, Anu, how long have you been in the moving business?
Not too long, 7 years. I started about
7 years is a good amount of time.
It is. Started off at like 20. And it
Yeah.
was all initially fun and games. And
Yeah,
then
as we all
now,
say about the moving
yeah,
business.
right? Once you get in, there's no going out.
That's right.
Yep.
It's fun and games, maybe doing some COD quotes. How'd you get into the business? What was your like first job at a movie company?
I was actually a front desk receptionist during like
Okay.
summer break from college,
Yeah.
just like helping dad out, whatever.
Yeah, summer's crazy.
Yep.
Everybody makes their all hands on deck. Everybody makes their
Mhm.
family chip in.
That's right.
Okay.
And
Did they ever send you out on a pack job?
No, never. I think at the end of the day, I'm still his baby,
Uh-huh.
so he's a little protective every now and then.
I'm surprised he didn't make you like at least pack a kitchen once.
Like my own kitchen for sure.
Yeah.
Every time I move around apartments in Manhattan, I do pack my own stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good. So you started out on the front desk, and that didn't scare you away. That didn't chase you away from the moving business.
Kinda. And then dad had to urge me into going with him to these fancy conferences like FD, IAM, IMA, YMC. And then I got to see the better, fancier side of our
Yes.
industry.
Yes. We do have some fancy parties.
Mhm.
For being kind of this blue collar, hardworking industry. We have some fancy parties. We clean
do.
up all right.
We do.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's interesting. So that's what got you. What was the first time where you went from being like, geez, dad, really again, to be like, okay, this might actually be where I want to be?
I think in about around 2017, 2018, he took a step back and he allowed me to take over and represent partner relations and take care of it. And instead of hiding behind him, at every conference that we went to together, I had no choice but to put myself out there and socialize and network and get to know
Yeah.
these people. And they welcomed me with the most warmest embrace. And there was like no negligence. Oh, she's just like a 20-year-old. What does
Right.
she know about it in our industry?
Right.
Everyone was so warm, taking me around to like meeting new people, pushing me to do more. And
Yeah.
then here I am.
Were you nervous the first time you stepped out kind of on your own?
Oh, very much. Very,
Yeah.
very much. Like to have to like go talk to these veterans twice or even thrice my age.
Yeah.
And then me coming in as like, wait, who are you? Nobody knew
Yeah.
me. And I had to work my way up,
Yeah.
And
What advice would you give to young people in this business, especially people maybe who are kind of coming in as second generation or third generation? How do they find their own way in this business?
don't be scared. Go out and say hi. No one's really going to eat you up. And I think there's going to be a lot of conflicts, especially if it's a second or third generation business. You're going to have to meet the first generation halfway in, and then leverage the strengths from whatever they have and incorporate it with our innovative ideas. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I think the struggle that I see, and everybody hit that like button and get in the comments. I want to know, what do you observe about creating succession plans in businesses? What do you observe from second, third, fourth generation folks? We see this a lot in the moving business, more so probably than any other vertical out there in the relocation space. But what do you see the challenges being? I'd love to kind of unpack some of those things. So I think it's um, a very real issue that we need to figure out, because we have some companies that have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes 100 years
Right.
that are thinking about how to pass the torch effectively. And I see some companies do it really well. And then I see some companies really struggle with it,
Exactly.
and I want to kind of talk maybe through some of those things as well about, how can we, people are checking in here. Krista's checking in. Hey, everyone. And he says, I love this topic. Yeah. And Matthew's over here. Tickets can be bought when you, there you go. All right. Keep selling those tickets. Adam and Julia. Oh, Adam, Matthew. Oh, geez. Anyway, so I see sometimes one of the problems that I see is that the previous generation doesn't, two things. One, that they don't let go because they've been doing it for so long themselves. And they're like, it's
A comfortable grip on it.
yeah,
It's their baby.
it's
So
their
understand.
baby, which is
Yeah.
ironic because you're their baby too. So they have a baby and they have a business baby, and they don't want to let the baby manage the business baby, because then we got babies raising babies over here, and it's just complicated. But I mean, is that something you see?
For sure, especially with my father.
Yeah.
Oh
Shout out to
my
Pops
God.
out there.
Oh yeah, if he's watching this. Yeah, initially we went head on head with each other. We had constant arguments, and there was like no family life balance at all. It usually, for any conflicts at work, it used to overflow at home, over dinner tables, be it on vacations, at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. There was no limitations. And then eventually I learned to take a step back and let him do his job. And he also provided me with the space and the comfort for me to explore, implement my own ideas, and for me to make mistakes. Sometimes they're very expensive mistakes, but you got to learn from your mistakes, correct?
I mean, that's the thing. I think mistakes are so valuable.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's how we learn.
Mm-hmm.
You don't learn from being successful.
Exactly.
You learn from when you don't do things the right way.
Exactly.
And it really is hard when, as a father, as a business owner, when you know the answer or think you know the answer and the way, to allow somebody to go through the process of figuring it out themselves, it takes a lot of restraint to do that. But the flip side can be, if that restraint's not practiced, I think as business owners and as parents both, we forget that it was our mistakes that got us to where we are now.
Exactly.
So if we deprive the next generation from making those mistakes, they won't be as prepared
Exactly.
as we are.
I agree, especially for our industry. I don't think there's any university or a college that offers undergrad or master's course that focuses just on household goods relocation, right?
Sure.
And it's just like these IM learning platform or the FEDI Academy that make tailor-made courses for our industry that I think many people, such as myself, have benefited from.
Yeah. Hit that like button. I want to know what your thoughts are. Get in the comments here. How do we prepare the next generation to continue to carry the torch, so to speak? What are the gaps that we need to solve for? I'd love to talk. We're going to talk about training as well. Here, Matthew says passing the torch starts with allowing for the next generation to build their own network, develop their own circle, for instance, through YP or learning events.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously it starts with that. Funny enough, it starts with trust. Funny enough, also the IAM annual meeting theme, the power of trust. Let's see here. Shane says second generation most times like to go in their own direction and start their own. There's a sense of responsibility in running a family business that many can't overcome. Did you always want to run the family business?
Absolutely not. I wanted to
No.
be an
What did you want to
interior
do?
designer.
Interior
Yes.
designer.
I went to Pratt for interior
Oh, Pratt
designing.
School of
Yep.
Design.
And then here I am in the logistics industry that has nothing to do with what I studied.
Well, we move the stuff that y'all design, y'all make it look pretty, and then we move it out and make it look pretty in the next place. You
I
know.
think, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, I feel like interior design is just like artful unpacking. You know, it's
I
like, where does
agree.
this go? Where
I
does that
feel a
go?
less guiltier now about that
Yeah, I feel
tuition.
like there's something there. I feel like there's honestly, I feel like that's also a business,
Yeah.
you know, a business opportunity.
Mhm.
Because when you move somebody into their new home, just boxes everywhere. It's just a
Right.
total mess.
Mhm.
You know, and you really are sitting there like, where does everything go?
Mhm.
I hadn't
Agreed.
thought about it. I don't know where the artwork is going. I don't know where,
Yeah.
you know, and so often I'll walk into like a show unit in an apartment building or a model home, and it's so beautifully decorated. It feels like amazing.
Right.
But that space without furniture feels like barren and
Void. Yes, I
void, right?
agree.
Not
Yep.
not like a home. So it's so funny because in the States, we really try not to do a lot of unpacking. We
Right.
really try not to do putting away service. We call it maid service,
Yep.
whatever you want to call
Uh-huh.
it. We try to stay away from all that.
Exactly.
But like those are kind of the things that add a lot of value to a
For
customer.
sure. Yes. Especially in how it works in India and here, or like for any other country. And like for customers going from Dubai, let's say they expect like white glove service
Hmm.
from unpacking boxes to putting everything on the shelves. But that's not how things work in America. Labor and everything is so much more expensive than what it
Right.
is in like
Is
Asia.
that why? Because the labor cost here is so
Oh,
much
for
more?
sure. One of the major factors, yes, I would say. And also it's hard to like train and retain labors.
Yeah, it's hard to like make people do like really tough work and then like keep them around, especially
Hmm.
not paying them, not paying them a whole lot. Really interesting. Shane, you bring up a good point there. Christian saying, hit that like button. Everybody get here in the comments. Want to know your thoughts about this as well. Christian says there needs to be mentorship for the next generation to learn, both those willing to teach, but also those willing to learn. What do you think about mentorship in the role here?
That's actually interesting that he brought it up because that was recently one of our discussions on the YB webinar of how the previous generation can pass on their experiences and their advice to the next generation. Um, so, as I was saying, YB, we hosted a webinar with three different breakout sessions, where we discussed about generational dynamics in our moving industry and the complications behind it. I believe FIDI has also introduced a new mentorship system where they have mentors and mentees sign up, and it happens over a course of 4 months, I believe, where these amazing veterans in the industry get to train newbies
Mhm.
who have just come in, which is like amazing, I think.
Yeah, I want to talk about training for a minute here and keep these comments coming. They're phenomenal comments. I want to know what your questions and comments are for us. But you know, when we talk about training, that seems to be a gap to me that I see out there. Whether it's at the local, you know, branch level, agency level,
Mhm.
because a lot of these companies are smaller companies.
Mhm.
They hire in spurts. They're not hiring
Right.
constantly. It's like, oh crap, it's peak season coming. We better hire a bunch of people.
Mhm.
Okay, let's
Exactly.
just hire people that already know how to do it because we don't
Yeah.
have time to train
Yeah.
people. You know, and so there's not a lot of formalized training unless you're at a
Exactly.
super large organization.
Mhm.
You don't have dedicated training people like trainers.
Mhm.
Like at large corporations, you have trainers. All
Exactly.
they do is train people.
Yeah.
They have curriculum, they have certifications, they have online learning, they have all sorts of stuff. We don't do that in the moving business. You know, where do you see the opportunities maybe for us as an industry to maybe take a step forward in terms of learning and development?
I think affiliations like IAM, they're already doing a great job with providing these training videos on their IAM learning platform.
Okay.
Let's say if you have new employees coming in, a move coordinator training program, there's the residential coordinator training program, military American military move training program.
Wow,
There's
those do
several.
sound good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And also the IAM Leadership Alliance has come out with the young professional training program, which is pretty intense. and essentially teaches how young leaders could step up their leadership game. And I think that's a good start from having nothing, no books or rules to go by, to like having a full blown video and like interactive learning session.
So what do you do for training at Universal Relocations? Like, how do y'all handle the training?
We have already compiled handbooks. We have like video formatting, let's say for packers in different languages, of course, considering the multicultural workforce that we employ,
Right.
both be it across America or our offices in India. We have like several regional languages training, and we hand out questionnaires towards the end where they get to fill that out, and for us to evaluate if it's safe for us to put them on the job outside or if they require further training.
So is the training like in person or is it online?
No, it is in person, and we also do a little bit of hands-on training. We take them to our warehouse, let's say, and show them how things are being packed. We also like to leave around, let's say, jewelry or passport, and see how they react to it if they came across something like that in a moving situation.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah, you need to go inform the client to like
Yeah.
put it away.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna go to lunch now. Thank you. It was nice working here. Found this diamond necklace. No, that's whose jewelry is it? Is it your jewelry? Is it
Oh, just like mock jewelry that we have lying around. Yeah.
It's not worth losing a job for mock jewelry. Really interesting here. We got people checking in here. Hosea, what's up, Jose? Great topic today. Thank you, Hosea. Hit that like button. Any questions? Let's see here. Anu, are you going to make Ben paint? As Anu is the reincarnation of Bob Ross.
Oh my, that's you, Matthew. But
are you a painter, Anu?
He's referring to. We hope we host this virtual sip and paint session.
Where is this sip and paint? I want to sip and paint.
It's for the YPs, but non-YPs are.
Can I show you a painting I made?
Please go ahead.
Do you paint for real? For real? You do paint?
For fun. I wouldn't call myself Bob Ross or Picasso, but.
All right, I did this over the weekend. Y'all can't see this. So my wife says I don't ever. So I do some art here and there. So like when I get stressed out or whatever, you know, I'll do a little art. It's good for me to do with the kids too.
Agree.
Kids are 5 and 8, you know, so otherwise they just want to murder me and everything around. So we'll sit down and we'll do some art. So my wife says I never do flowers. She wants me to make her flowers.
Okay.
She said I never do flowers. Okay. Flowers are hard. Like
they're not.
They're not hard.
Not flowers. Like what sort of flowers are we talking about? Intricate, detailed flowers?
I don't know. I mean, what kind of flower doesn't have detail and intricate?
Fair. Okay.
Okay. So I found, and she was very specific. She wanted fall flowers.
Okay.
Right. That's what I said. She wanted fall flowers. So I had to Google a picture of fall flowers. So I found on like 1-800-Flowers or whatever. I found a picture of a fall flower arrangement, and I did it. So I don't know if we can. I don't know. We probably can't show people this.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are an artist.
Did you got it? Here, Adam. Oh, all right. We're gonna see. This is high tech stuff here. Did that work? Does that? Yeah. See if it gets in there. It's still catching me in the frame. Yeah. Let's see here. Adam's gonna try to get y'all the flowers. These are my flowers that I made. What do y'all think? Do y'all like these flowers? Get in the comments.
Stunning.
Do I quit my day job as CEO of GLOMO and just paint flowers, or do I keep up this podcast? It's really tough, honestly.
It is a tough decision to make. Yep.
I thought they came out okay.
You need to join our next YP virtual sip and paint session.
So it's a virtual.
It's a virtual.
So how does it work?
Get a drink of your choice or bottle.
Bottle.
You basically just sip wine and paint. It's a way to reconnect and with our.
So what are we painting the same thing?
Yes, this year in excitement for the IAM conference, we painted the Canadian Rockies. And
I didn't know they had. This is so bad. I didn't know the Canadians had Rockies. I don't know why I thought that was our thing.
Really? No, like Banff and everything.
Banff I've heard of. Is that called the Canadian Rockies?
Yeah, it is, right? It is. I think so.
Apparently, it is now.
It is. Yeah.
Anu said it's the Rockies.
Yep.
Look at this. We got people checking in here. Teresa said, "Good job on the phone." Thank you, Teresa. Cassandra said, "Very nice." Thank you. Matthew said, "Hidden talent, Ben Cross. Next thing you can sing as well. I feel like he's baiting me into this right now. Get a little Sinatra going. Christian Hall, I said I would call that arrangement pumpkin nice.
Okay.
Pumpkin spice.
Oh,
Pumpkin
that was a
nice.
little late, but I got it.
Wow, Christian out here with the zingers. Here, I did one other thing here. I
Let's
want to
see
show
it.
you. I want to show you this. Oh, I did Mr. Pickle too, but that's not I'm most proud of. This one right here I did. Look at that.
That
So
is
we do
cute. I love it.
recruitment.
Mhm.
So I did a recruitment themed painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have it on your website. I
On my
think you're
website?
great. I think this is really good, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you. I pay people to come here and tell me when the art is decent. Thank
No,
you
you
so
didn't.
much. Adrian's like, you haven't paid me enough. Sandra says, I didn't know the Canadians had Rockies. What? Is that not a did you Sandra knows everything.
She does.
You know what she does? Sandra does this all the time that I spend drinking. Sandra does research. And so Sandra just comes on here and basically cleans my act up. Thank you, Sandra. Look at this. Jason Hall checking in. Jay Hall checking in from USI Law. What's up, Jason? Good to see you. He's always putting the yeah, there you go. All right. Okay, so you did the virtual painting of the Canadian Rockies, Banff. Sounds lovely. Have you been to Banff, by the way?
Never. Have you?
Why you gotta turn it around on me? No, I haven't been. I didn't even know they had Rockies.
Right. Fair
I haven't
enough.
been. I've been to Toronto a couple
Okay.
times. I've been to Montreal. I've been to Vancouver. Basically anywhere I am
Nice.
is
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
this is great. Chris says we could have a drawing session on here and you could teach us and talk all the Love and Relo things. Just do both jobs. That's great. Appreciate you. All right. So you did the painting, the sip and paint thing. We're all over the place today. This is great. We were talking about training. One thing, shout out to the people at IAM that I love that they're doing is they've changed the scholarship fund. They've changed it around so that it's not just for college, but you can actually apply it towards certifications, any professional certification.
Exactly.
I love that idea.
Be it IAM Learning or the FIDI Academy, or let's say your GMS certification from Worldwide ERC. Yeah, which I think is amazing because sometimes for employees that you want them to like take the course, like it serves as a great way to like encourage.
Yeah, because it's like you want to tell your employees, like, listen, go take a course, go learn something out there, but you don't want to pay for it.
Exactly.
So you say, okay, apply for the Alan F. Wolstetter Fund.
And in addition to that, IAM also gives you like a $500 credit, I believe, at the beginning of each membership year, which you can apply towards certifications under IAM Learning Platform.
I didn't realize that. So that's a new thing. So IAM's giving you $500 of learning credits now?
For YP members, or was it for
So
every
if I'm 40, I don't get to learn anything. Brian Liparopoulos, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I already know everything. No, no, this is funny. This is great. No, I love it. And I love the fact that they're doing these courses because I think it's much needed, especially when you think about things like coordination. I got a question though. Do you think it's harder? Do you think we have more of a talent issue? Because I'm going to be on a panel at IAM.
Right. I did see that.
You saw that?
I did see that.
Does it look good?
It looks amazing.
Okay, great. I'm going to be on a panel talking about talent. Where do they come from and where do they go? It sounds like a Cotton Eye Joe song, but it's not. It's about talent and recruitment and whatnot. And I didn't make the title. I think Brian Liparopoulos wrote it. But we're talking about that, and I want to ask you, in your opinion, do you think we have more of a talent shortage challenge on the, I'm going to use just the terms blue collar and white collar, the blue collar side of the business or the white collar side, the labor or the services side? Where do you think that we have the bigger probably talent challenge?
Bigger problem definitely towards the blue collar side, in America especially. Yes, in India we don't seem to be having a problem with that. It's about like hiring these drivers who are willing to do long distance drives, because we have our trucks going to every nook and corner of the city, and we're constantly doing cross country trips. So it's really hard to find and retain these blue collared employees who are willing to do that. But for the white collared, I think it's easy to get someone on board, but the struggle is retaining them. Correct, especially I'm actively hiring the Gen Z and the millennial workforce.
How has that been going for you? I hear mixed reviews.
As much as I hate to say it, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
Yes, especially.
But aren't you? What do you identify as millennial?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So
That is
you're
right.
like a early Gen Z. I'm a
Yeah.
late. I'm an early millennial.
Yeah. Got it.
I'm trying to identify with the youths. No, but how has it been going for you though? What's been the challenges?
I think from an employer perspective, also being like a part of the Gen Z, I think I'm like on the wall. Like I sometimes get where they're coming from. Sometimes I do face my own struggles from an employer point of view. Like, but I am actively reviewing our company benefits and policies, to introducing more family friendly policies. For instance, we pay the school tuition fees for all of our office staff kids in India. We have about 70 in-office employees.
Wow.
And yeah, so
But you don't do that here.
no, sir.
Okay, I was gonna say,
I'm
'cause
afraid we
if
can
my
do
wife
it
went to
here.
go work as a coordinator for Universal Relocations, I got my kids' private school paid for, that would not be a bad thing.
I wouldn't be able to afford my Manhattan apartment or my.
Yeah. I mean, now you welcome to my world. I don't have a Manhattan apartment either for that very reason. No, but
Yeah.
I think that's a great benefit. But how is that different from say like the US side? Well, like, you're able to offer these benefits, let's say in
Mhm.
India, right? Whereas obviously it doesn't make the same kind of sense to do that here in the States.
Right. For
What
sure.
are some of the challenges that you have kind of in the States?
So I'm actively hiring in the Gen Z workforce, and all they require is a flexible working schedule, which is something that we can accommodate. All they want is a laptop. They're probably, I don't know, in Costa Rica or like Bora Bora. All they need is a Wi-Fi and a laptop. And for me, as long as the work gets done, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And yep.
How? Okay. Oh, all right. Hold on. This is so interesting. All right. So you'll work. So what kind of jobs are these?
Move coordinator jobs.
coordinators.
Yes. Move managers.
I want to see this move coordinator in Bora Bora. So you got a move coordinator, and you're like, okay, Susie, you're hired,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, okay, give me a laptop.
Yeah.
And
exactly. She's 23.
She's 23.
Just fresh out of college.
Fresh out of college.
We did a little bit of 2-month moderate or intense training session with her, and then here's a laptop. Just let us know the internet cost. We will reimburse it. Do what you got to do. Just get us the business. And they're happy. I wish I had a boss who would let me do that.
But you are. Well, y'all have the same boss. So you go to. Hey, how much you paying people to go to Bora Bora anyway? Like, what kind of salary ranges do you adjust? Do you localize the pay in order to reflect the cost of living from the place that they're in?
Average,
so you give them Addison, Dallas pay,
or more like New York, New Jersey.
You give them New York pay,
yes,
and they're sitting in Costa Rica.
Yep.
On the Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Adrian over here is looking. He might take the job. Adrian, earmuffs. Stop. Hold. Well. So and then their move coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Now for people out there who like Annie's saying, Ben about to come in hot with this topic. Yeah, I'm hot topic like the mall right now. Okay. Jim saying I want to work in Bora Bora. Jim, I think you do, don't you? You have a house in Florida. You have a house in Rochester. You probably got a Bora Bora's house somewhere. Jason Hall saying, "Wow, Jason, are there immigration considerations here for Jason? I'd love to know your thoughts." But no, so this is the fantasy. This is like the ideal, right? Okay. So this actually happens. So you have a person, you hired her. What first of all, what stood out about this person?
I'm sorry.
Like, why did you hire this person? Like, what appealed to you about?
Because she was a people person.
She's a people person.
Right? Networking. She was great. I actually shouldn't be saying this, but I met her at a bar in New York.
Hey,
and
I met my favorite person in a bar.
Did you? Who is
that?
Yeah,
my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah. She's about to move to Bora Bora with a laptop. No, I'm just kidding. So you met her at a bar. Okay, you met her at a bar.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and she was like,
she was actually whining that how insane the job employment
Most
right
people hear
now.
someone whining about their job and they'll say, I'd like that person to work for me. But I knew it was like, this is the kind of person I want to deal
Just
with. All right, great.
connected
Got it.
instantly. Just handed out her business card
Okay.
and was like, if you're interested, hit me up. And then she slid through my DMs on Instagram.
She flipped through the DMs. This is called follow up for you Gen Xers. So she
Yep.
followed up with you the next day.
And we scheduled an in-person interview.
Yep.
And then I introduced her to my boss, my father.
Yep.
And eventually we were a fan of it took a lot of convincing because he didn't understand. He was like, why am I paying her to do the same thing that this person has been doing for me for the last 20 years?
Yep.
But at the same time sitting at me in my office where I see him every day, where I can ensure that he's doing his job.
Yep.
I was like, I'm sorry, but that sort of work culture is dying out. And we're going to have to start supporting the Gen Z workforce.
Right.
Who love flexible working and they get the job done. You know, that's all that you want as an employer.
Yeah.
Correct?
Maybe. So this person sits, this is great. Thank you for walking with me on this path. So this person, you met her at a bar, you bought her a computer, you introduced her to your dad. This is a platonic relationship. And now you're like, okay, you're hired.
Yeah.
And now you gave her some intensive training. Okay, fabulous. And she now has this this laptop. And at what point did she say, you know, Anu, I always have my eye on Costa Rica?
No, that was the plan when she came on board. It was
Okay,
like,
so
I
you
need
knew
to
this.
travel, but I will get the job done. Doesn't matter what day and time, what time zone I am in.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get it done. And we get on Zoom calls, let's say once a week, where we do like check-ins.
Yep.
And so far, she's just been amazing. The quotes go out in like within 24 hours.
Yep.
And the feedback that I've been getting from the other agents in the industry is like, she's amazing. So that's all that I need to hear. Yeah.
That's good. And so where's she today?
Somewhere in South America, I believe.
South America.
Yes, sir.
And that South America is less problematic because South America, like Jana on my team, is in Brazil. She'll be at the Sao Paulo ERC event tomorrow. So, you know, and they're 2 hours ahead, but she works on our time zone. Not too crazy.
Yeah.
Where's Bora Bora?
And like near Maldives, I believe, which was like a few time zones
away. What if, like, does that cause a problem when they start going like to the other side of the world?
Again, it's a you problem. You need to get my work done. That is all I care about.
So you're like, listen, you want this Bora Bora check to clear, you better get these quotes out. Okay.
Best of both worlds.
And then how do you, in lieu of being able to see the person getting the work done, how do you manage the productivity of that person?
So we have this amazing CRM platform called Salesforce.
Okay.
Where I literally get to see what each employee gets in every day.
Yep.
And how if their tasks are done, if everything's completed for the day, what they have active on their dashboard.
Yep.
I guess that's one easy way for me to monitor and do event like check-ins to make sure that they're all doing their work.
Okay, so you look at the Salesforce activity.
That's right.
And then how fast they get the quotes turned around.
Exactly.
And everything like that. Is there also like closing percentages? Is that like something you look at?
Like incentives? Oh,
no,
yes.
Like what percentage of quotes get accepted?
Yes, there is. But again, that's something my father knows how to navigate around.
So he's doing that.
Exactly.
And when you started this arrangement, he was skeptical, it sounds like?
Yes, eventually. But again, like I said, he's given me the space to explore my ideas.
How's he feeling now about it?
He's very happy. He clearly sees the numbers that's coming in, and I think it's good so far.
So he said, you know what, go to back to the bar, find us more people. And you're like, on it, Pops. I got this.
Yep.
And he says Salesforce is one of the best CRM platforms. What do you think about this arrangement? This is remote work taken all the way to the fullest extent. What do you think about it? Get in the comments. I want to know out there, do you want to get a laptop and move to the Maldives? I don't even know where that is. Bali, thank you. Okay, I thought it was out there. Do you want to go to Bali? Besides Jim Walsh out there, who else wants to go to Bali? Who knows? You know, we're in recruitment. They're looking for people that like to drink and live in Bali. So I didn't even know you could drink out in Bali. Okay, Jason Hall says, I love it. He said, sign me up. Let's see here. Annie says it takes a certain type of person or employee to be able to stay motivated, produce, and get their job done. If you're that type of person, hats off to you. But I don't think remote work works best for everyone, in my opinion. What do you think about that statement?
I kind of agree, especially with this new culture that's going on. Like the moment you open, let's say, a TikTok or Instagram, it's about having a perfect schedule, waking up at 5 a.m.,
Mm,
and having these set robotic set of work that you
yeah,
go through every day. I think it's great for introducing work structure in your life if you feel like doing that. But honestly, like Annie said, I am not someone who likes that rigorous set form of work
right.
lifestyle. I like to mix it up a little bit,
Sure.
wake up at 5, on other days wake up at 12, do my own thing.
I love waking up at 12. Sounds amazing. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the fluidity as well.
Mhm.
I think it becomes a challenge though too when although I will say when other people depend on you to be in
Exactly.
place, you know?
Right.
Like if I wake up at 12 and Adam, our producer's at work at 8
Mhm.
and he needs to get stuff for me or we need to collaborate or whatever, like it's hard if we're not on the
It is.
same schedule because our overlapping hours are
Right.
valuable to us. Um, Jason says he thinks it's forward thinking. Yeah, interesting. Look at this. Hamad says one things that made me okay. Here we. Oh man, here we go. One thing that made me stick to moving was the excitement of meeting new people in the form of customers and agents from all around the world and learning so many things from each and every one of them. After 22 years and many mistakes later, I can, with high levels of certainty, know how a customer will act and react during a job just by talking to them once. Please discuss more on EI, emotional intelligence, and empathy in our industry, as without it, moving people becomes really difficult. AI is fast taking over. We're going to, you know what? This is a great one, Hamad. Hit that like button. We're going to talk a little bit about this as well. We're going to see what other comments we have around. I left the company that I worked for, Cassandra says, for 13 years for a remote job, and I love it. Very interesting. Simon Hood, what's up, Simon? Simon says, I used to face difficulties convincing the board to allow remote work. However, when COVID-19 struck, the company had no choice but to implement remote work, and it turned out to be successful. We've continued to embrace it since then, and remote employees often contribute more hours compared to those who commute. It becomes a valuable employee perk. And you save money on real estate and rent, which is a very hard
Facts.
cost,
Yep.
you know?
It is.
Especially in New York,
Oh
right? I
yes.
mean, good lord, can't even imagine.
It just keeps getting worse.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Ahmad has a question. He's talking about kind of EI versus AI, right? He's
Mhm.
talking about emotional intelligence versus artificial intelligence.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that balance and how AI is coming in our space?
Initially, I think when I started within the company, I was very involved in bringing about a digital transformation for the entire organization, just like any other Gen Z would, because
Mhm.
we're very tech savvy.
Yeah.
However, my father was not a very big fan of this, as he believed in maintaining a people focused approach.
Yep.
And I did not quite understand that at 20. However, we came to a mutual agreement that although technology is essential, human touch is also equally important. And we as businesses should strive to personalize these customer experiences and use technology as a leverage to support rather than just entirely replace human interactions.
So
Um,
how does AI kind of come in and augment us appropriately?
right. As bad as this sounds, I wanted to fire about 20% of our employees who did mundane tasks like
Yeah.
sending out shipment tracking emails or basically just copying and pasting customer service generic email templates,
Hmm.
not to just cut costs for the company, but also improve work efficiency when we bring in AI.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think businesses should strike the right balance
Yeah.
between automated efficiency driven automation and balancing between the warmth and personalization that only a human touch can offer. So it's kind of
Yeah, and I think, we can look at it two ways. We can
Mhm,
say, okay, I can eliminate 20% of my employee cost
mhm,
for these mundane tasks, or we can say I can repurpose 20% of my workforce
mhm.
to now do something of a higher value,
Exactly.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
Maybe it means actually putting away the dishes now versus telling them, nah, we don't do that. Labor costs too
Yeah.
expensive, right?
Exactly.
Or maybe it means offering, interior design services, with every move, right? Something
Exactly.
to kind of separate us
Mhm.
from the competition,
Mhm.
right? And doing things that humans can do really well.
Exactly. I agree. Like for now, when we're doing moving students around Manhattan, some of majority of the Gen Z again does not want random strange men touching or packing their things,
I've had that experience.
right? And
Yeah.
so we just like drop boxes off, have them pack it up, and we just all we do is move it for them.
Mm.
So it's about catering to different generations and customizing their moving experience.
See, I'm the opposite. I have so much stuff around the house that I wish a random strange man would come do for me. I'm very different like that. Anandita checking in. What's up, Anandita? Hi, Ben. Great to see you. Welcome, Anu.
Thank you.
Anandita's great from USI Law. Shout out to USI Law, one of the newest GLOMO clients up in the DC area doing US immigration. Annie Ream says AI cannot motivate employees. Hmm. I think it could motivate them. It may not be able to inspire them though,
Right.
because like it could hit you up like, I see that you haven't made a keystroke in 5 minutes. And you're like, oh snap, I better get on that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
I don't think you're gonna like it very
No.
much, but I think it can be, and I think that's the challenge, right? Is I think we are rushing to automate as much as we can.
Mhm.
My fear is that we do that and then we alienate our humans,
Exactly. Yep.
and then what are we really left with? Because
Mhm.
I mean, let's take a look back at let's take a look back at call centers. I mean, I came up in
Mm.
call centers, and auto dialers and auto to press one for this, press, and
The
you get that,
worst.
and you're just like, why? I don't
Mhm.
want to do this.
Yep.
And we just get irritated,
I lose my patience.
you know,
Mhm.
and I just see that, and I say, we have the opportunity to. We're kind of going towards the same thing
Mhm.
now with this, and while I think the execution of AI would be better, because it's basically like working out a lot of the kinks that are in that very static framework of an auto dialer. Um, it's still apparent that we're dealing with a bot
It is.
to
Yeah.
me.
And I don't think there's no way to like humanize that, if I may say.
Yeah.
And it just makes, well, like Annie was saying, makes you lazy, make the employees lazy.
But what about these like AI videos now? So like they try to humanize it by like showing you a picture. Like we could take Annie, which is a great
Mhm.
AI name, by the way, Annie, the AI person. And we could take Annie's little avatar, Annie the avatar, and we can like program it with AI and it'd be like, hi, Ben, how are you?
Which is scary, don't you think?
I mean, kind of. The idea is scary, but I might
Yeah.
like the result. I might be like,
Probably,
oh,
yeah.
wow, you're so agreeable.
Mhm.
Wow, working at 8 p.m. again. Great job. So I don't know what does the moving industry change much in the next 5 years, or is it not until robots get involved?
No, I think they're slowly making a change with, let's say, AI integrated customer service
Mhm,
bots, or along with the sustainability
mhm,
initiatives. There's quite a bit of change that's going on, but I don't think it's here to stay, at least in my opinion.
mhm.
Um, like I said, human touch, nothing that can like equalize that.
Yeah, let's hop into some games. You want to play some games?
Sold.
Yeah, it's nice, easy. Let's do it. So we're gonna play a couple games here, I think. So first, we're gonna do a top five,
Hmm.
and then we're gonna do an overrated, underrated. Adam, we good with that? Adam says we're good. If Adam says we're good, we're good. This is the topic you gave us here. You've been around the world quite a bit.
I have.
How many countries have you been to?
I don't like to count.
I didn't know that was a stance. Okay. Well, I don't like to count either because it makes me look like I haven't been to many countries. But you've been to enough to have a top 5, which is great. Top 5, and I like food.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that. Adrian, come on, quiet on set. Huh, Adrian? People are audibly laughing at me. GLOMO headquarters. Top 5 interesting foods Anu has tried around the world. Number 5. Octopus in New York.
Yeah, I think that's pretty mainstream. Have you
It
tried
is. Oh, I
octopus?
love
Right. Yeah.
Octopus is one of those foods that if it's on the menu, I'm ordering it.
Right. Same. I love it. It's a chewy consistency. Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it. I like it grilled with some nice char marks on it. I think it's challenging though because it can get tough on you.
Yeah.
And to have like a nice, I almost think you gotta like sous vide it and then throw it on the grill. Anyway, I'm a big fan of octopus.
Same.
Huge fan. In fact, there's some decent octopus over here at Bulla Gastro Bar. Making me hungry. You got dinner plans tonight?
I have a flight.
Oh, all right.
10.
I'm hungry here. All right. Number 4. Snails. Paris.
Oh yeah.
These are also escargot, right?
Escargot, that's right.
Snails.
Yeah. Have you tried them?
Better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 It's literally just mushroom.
It's like a mushroom.
The taste and the consistency.
A lot of things are like mushrooms.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying because one of my, if I had a top 5 thing, because I haven't been to this many places probably. Have you ever had Rocky Mountain oysters or calf fries, as they're called?
No, I haven't.
No, calf fries. Calf fries taste like fried mushrooms. You had fried mushrooms before?
Yeah.
Dip them in a little ranch, right?
That sounds interesting.
Oh, they're good. They're good. Fried anything's good.
Okay, yeah.
Right? I think we can agree on that. So fried calf fries. Calf fries are bull testicles.
Oh, got it. I was just assuming they're cats.
Yeah, you would think.
Yeah.
No, calf fries, like like a baby cow. And so anyway, I gave them to my mother-in-law, and we took her to Fort Worth, and they're like fried mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I digress. All right, I like escargot. We're getting somewhere here.
Oh
Buttery. Yeah. I like the little plate they come in too.
It's pretty. Aesthetically pleasing. Yep.
Number 3, alligator, huh? Where was this?
It was in Cambodia, Siem Reap.
Siem Reap.
That's right.
I haven't heard of Siem Reap. What were you doing? What were you doing in Cambodia?
I was there for the IMA conference like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, right before COVID hit.
What is the IMA conference?
IMA is the International Mobility Alliance.
Oh, that's like a newer group, right?
Exactly. Smaller setting, and it's very intimate. We are a big fan of exchanging business within the group.
Yeah.
And you get to have like these one-on-one meetings, which are like 20 minutes long. And it's just like a personalized approach.
Okay. Alligator, what'd you think of it?
It was basically just chicken.
It's
like,
chicken-y.
yeah. It was
Chicken-ish.
chewy. Yeah.
It is chewy. It's one of those also that they can get overcooked kind of easy.
Oh, yes.
All right. Let's keep it moving here. Number 2, Eskimo.
Take a wild guess. What do you think those are?
Eskimo. This is in Mexico?
Yes, sir.
My Spanish speakers, can I phone a friend? Adam, have you ever had this before? You don't have to tell me what it is. Never had. Adrian, you ever had this before?
Okay.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna say like crickets.
No. It's like insect caviar, or it's basically ant larvae.
Oh, larvae, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
You can add it as like a topping on your taco or like burrito.
Yeah.
And it's like a buttery, salty consistency.
You know, actually, this doesn't sound bad.
Yeah, you should try it. Yeah, and it's very expensive.
Of course, ant caviar.
Right?
Yeah, of course it is. Gee. Wow. So you just add this to a taco, just put a little Eskimo on top?
Exactly. It's like boba.
It's like boba.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like boba for tacos, Eskimo. All right, next. Camel. What was this like?
It was amazing. It's high on protein, low
Sure.
in like fats and
It's
carbs.
very lean.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually very common in Dubai. I had like a camel burger at this joint called Bear Burger in Dubai, and it came with a side of cookies and camel milk too. And yeah,
Camel milk.
yep.
Who milks a camel? Sounds dangerous, honestly. Right? Like they got those long, janky, lanky legs that might just I feel like the range on those things. All right, camel milk. Okay. All right. Well, wow, that's good. Yo, let's do an overrated. We got time for an overrated, underrated. Do you know how to play this game? Overrated, underrated. Do you know how to play? I know.
Sure, I think I do. What are the rules?
There's only 2 rules I know.
Okay.
1, I'm gonna give you a topic.
Okay.
You tell me if it's overrated or underrated.
Gotcha.
Second rule is I tell you if you're right.
Okay. Gotcha.
You get the joke. All right, good. Let's get started. Overrated, underrated. Fashion.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yes.
You can't see this right now, but Anu is here in heels with lavender fuzzies on them.
And a
she says
matching
fashion
bag,
is
too.
over with a matching, is that Chanel?
Yes, sir.
Matching Chanel purse. Clutch. Did you call that a clutch?
Like a cute sling bag.
Slim bag?
Sling.
Sling bag with a Chanel sling bag. And she says fashion is overrated. State your case.
I guess I lose.
No, you don't lose yet. You have a chance to redeem yourself. Why do you think it's overrated?
Because the trends that's moving on right now, it's so fast.
Yes.
One day some low hip streets are in, and the next day it's gone.
Yes.
And it's just so fast, and the overconsumption
Yes.
that I am not a fan of,
I
and it's
agree.
so overrated. And you need to like buy and invest in more like sustainable pieces that's gonna
Like
last you
staples.
exactly.
Like Chanel doesn't go out of style.
Never.
You're wearing vintage Chanel from the 50s still. Like Chanel does not go out of
Never.
style.
Exactly.
Those shoes,
Keeps
they're
going.
nice. You'll wear those in 50
Until I'm
years.
40, 50.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll be
sure.
showing up. You'll be OP. They'll be kicking you out of YP parties. You'll be like, but I'm wearing the shoes from my 20s. You'll hit them with your Chanel sling. Hey, unhand me, young man. Matthew Odike's oldest son will be throwing you out of the party.
Oh boy.
I know your father. You know, you're gonna be that lady. You're so gonna be that lady. We'll see. We'll see. All right, next. Dating apps, overrated or underrated?
Absolutely overrated.
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 Wow. In the city. Okay, tell me why.
It's emotionally draining. It's so fast, so easily accessible that nobody wants to put in the effort to like really get to know someone like the old school way, you know?
Yeah. I consider myself fortunate to have found my wife the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
In a bar. And I don't know how people
Cute.
do it these days with the apps.
Right.
I just know I know grown men who just move to tears by these things. They're just
brutal.
It's brutal.
It's brutal. Yep.
Well, they say women have it better than men on these things, but I mean, it's tough. I don't know anybody that's like, yo, dating apps where it's at. Nobody has ever said. Sorry, Adrian crushes it on. What's the app, Adrian? What's your favorite app? Favorite dating app? Oh, put it in the chat. Coffee Meet Bagel? Oh, what do you think about coffee? You on Coffee Meet Bagel?
No, I'm not.
Think about that one?
Yeah, I did give it a shot. I think that's more like respectful compared to the other.
She's like,
trash
that's
out
too
there.
that's too respectful.
I like that.
Oh, hold on. Are we complaining about how trash the apps are, and then you tell me the Coffee Meet Bagel's too respectful?
I mean, it's okay compared to the rest.
Do each one of these apps have their own vibe, like
their own crew? Yeah, the sort of crowd that's on it. Yeah, for sure. Tinder is like for a whole other
Is Tinder
purpose.
the worst?
The worst.
What about Plenty of Fish? Is that still around?
I haven't.
Why
like,
is Adrian
tried
laughing
those.
at me? Adrian, this is a new record. I'm getting laughed at more on this show. Like not with. I know, because my buddy used to be on Plenty of Fish back in the day. apparently was functional. Um, and so okay, so Tinder's kind of like the
The
worst.
worst, I would
And
say.
what's the best when it comes to like
None. Absolutely
none?
nothing.
What
No.
about these? What about these? You ever do these like ethnocentric kind of ones like J Date or I don't know, it's farmers only one. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Christian Mingle. Like, do you ever do any of these like that are more like very specific
And
around?
but that's for like serious like marriage, and it's like a more like older crowd on it,
It's
not
an
like,
older
yeah,
crowd,
for sure.
like older, like 28. Like what's like older, like
30,
30,
29, 30, yeah.
29, 30. It's so specific. It's like too specific. It's like, oh, you're 6 months older than the parameter I put into the system. You're half an inch shorter than what I said my minimum would be on the app. Annie's saying 100%. Annie, best dating app out there. What is it? Give us the scoop. Adrian's a coffee meets bagel guy. Good for you. You respectable man, Adrian. I applaud you. Adrian met his wife on a dating app in NYC. Do people still meet at bars?
They do, at least for the first date, I think.
The first date, they
Yeah.
can still meet at
Mhm.
bars. What percentage of people, like what percentage of relationships are bar? Yeah. And I feel like it's very binary, like bar or app. I'm sure there's like others. There's like church. Is grocery store still a thing? I don't know.
Absolutely not. Meeting
Grocery store
somewhere, someone like the organic
at
way. Oh, ran into at the her
at
at
the
the
produce
library.
side.
Yeah.
It was always the me growing up was always the produce section.
For me, it's like, was that real? Did that actually happen back in the day?
Yes.
That
She
is
stole
cute.
my cantaloupe and my heart. You got,
That's
you got a
cute.
church girlfriend? Target girlfriend. What section of Target? Bread. That's produce adjacent. This is great. Annie's saying Hinge, if anything.
Yeah.
Where does Hinge stack rank on the scale of respectability?
For now, I would say like 2 or 3, maybe. Yeah, it's one of the better ones out
One of
there.
the better
Yeah,
ones.
for sure.
And it's
Yeah.
not good for guys, though, is what I'm hearing.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
wow.
cute.
they're they're upselling roses on Hinge. It's like the little old lady at the restaurant who comes around at 10 o'clock at night. It's like a rose for the lady, a rose for the lady. And you're looking at the lady like, I'm in $200 on this dinner. Is this $10 rose gonna change what happens next? Let me know. I'm already pot committed here. Let me know. Oh my gosh, people. Jason Hall says I couldn't imagine dating these days. It seems robotic. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Jason, we got out just in time, Jason. Whew, it was close. All right. Nan's always trying to bring the conversation back to something usable here. Nan says, how would AI be able to make a dating app for mobility suppliers and buyers?
Oh my God,
Is
that's
that an
interesting.
opportunity? We're swiping. What are we just doing? Off logos, like off a smiling founder's face? What are we doing? Like founder / logo, like guy in a truck. Like what are we swiping? What's that first image gonna be?
That's a good.
Coordinator at their desk with a stack of files. Like,
But would you want to marry into the moving industry again?
to be honest though, I mean, we kind of do this now, right? I mean, we do this with people sponsor the app, the conference app. They like,
Mhm.
put their logo on it as if somebody's going to click on the title slide of the conference app
All right. Yeah,
and go over to your website and then
Mhm.
decide to give you $1 million a year of business.
that makes sense. I agree.
Nan, what do you think? Would this work for you? I mean, I could see it. I could actually see it. A swipe situation. Man, let's see here. Annie's saying most people on those apps aren't actually looking for relationships. Call me biased. Annie, if
Couldn't
that's
agree
up to
more,
you, I
Annie.
guess. Um, Adrian's saying LinkedIn Recruiter gives you a dating app type of experience for potential candidates. Yeah, this is fun. We should do a whole show. Overrated, underrated. Adam's like, move it along, people. Overrated, underrated. Celebrities.
Overrated.
Why?
Because they're just another human, just like us, with two eyes, like a heart.
They're gonna say 2 personalities, just like us with 2 personalities.
That too, but yeah.
One eye, 2 personalities.
Yeah, like why worship them? Like
Mhm.
it's okay to like them, but
Yeah.
this parasocial form of being obsessed with them,
Right.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, I
you have a
dig it.
favorite celebrity?
Oh yeah, I do.
Who is
You
it?
know, I'm a big Jay-Z fan.
Ah, nice.
I'm a big Jay. If
Okay.
if Jay-Z were here, I'd be a little starstruck. You know what else I got starstruck over?
Yeah.
I saw Malcolm Gladwell. You
Mm.
know Malcolm
Yes,
Gladwell,
of course.
the writer, or the author,
Yep.
um, thinker, social commentator. I saw him. He was on my plane,
Mm.
and he was sitting over there in the gate area,
Mhm.
and you could just tell Malcolm Gladwell. I mean, he's very thin,
Yeah.
light skin with the crazy hair,
Right.
and you're just like, that's Malcolm Gladwell. Like you could show me a silhouette, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
that's Malcolm Gladwell. And I went over to him, and I was like, kind of hovering,
Yeah.
like I wanted to say something to him, but I didn't want to seem like super desperate.
Yeah.
So I set like one reasonable seat away from him, like I
Okay.
was just sitting down. I
Yeah.
was like, gosh, oof, you think our flight's gonna be on time? He's like, yeah, I don't know. And like that was all I said to him.
No
I wanted,
picture, nothing.
no, I
Oh,
wasn't gonna
that's
be
cute.
like,
Yeah.
hey, you think our flight's gonna be on time? How about a selfie? Like, didn't seem. I wanted him to think I didn't know who he
Yeah,
was.
totally. Play low key.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like that.
I don't know. Feels like a missed opportunity. Let's see here. Not saying like, how would you like to collaborate with a law firm with industry leading case approval rates? No names. No strings attached. No strings attached. No, it says you can swipe through my selling points. No strings attached. It's not gonna get weird. Yeah, celebrities. I think. Yeah, I mean, I think. Listen, I think in a vacuum, what you're saying makes a lot of sense. If there's someone you've admired for a long time because of stuff they've accomplished, or maybe they've inspired you,
Mhm.
like you look at them and like say from like an image standpoint or from like a philanthropy standpoint or
Mhm.
something that they've done, like some people feel this way about like an Elon Musk or something like that, right? You're like, wow, you really accomplished something, or you've inspired me in a certain way, or um you look at the way people feel about even the way people feel about Beyonce and
Mhm.
Taylor Swift, it's
Mhm.
like um I don't know. Is there a celebrity that you, if you met, you'd be like,
Honestly, I won't lie. Yeah, Bradley Cooper.
Bradley
I'm a
Cooper?
big fan,
Hey,
but yeah.
I hear that.
Probably wouldn't ask him. I would ask him how our flight's late or something, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't get a picture with
You
him
wouldn't get a
either.
picture,
Yeah,
you'd be like,
sure.
oh
Play
gosh,
cool.
the weather
Yeah.
these days.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, next. Burnout. Overrated or underrated?
uh Underrated.
Underrated.
Yeah.
We don't talk about burnout enough.
N- n- we don't exactly.
Yeah.
I think that is
It's a real
something.
thing.
We're romanticizing overworking and
Yeah.
like having this like hustle
Yeah.
lifestyle, but
Yeah.
you get burned out like easily, and
Mhm.
that's not good for your mental health or just your overall well-being.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Like I hear that. Like I'm probably, I'm probably not getting enough sleep right now. I hear that. I think it's overrated. I think we
Yeah.
talk about burnout too much.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think we demonize hustle culture.
Yeah.
I think people don't work hard enough. I think people don't work hard enough. I really do. Now I think we obsess over some BS sometimes,
Yeah.
but I think people don't work hard enough. I think if we took listen, my phone tells me, Ben, you had 9 hours of screen time today. I had 9 hours of screen time on my
That's
phone.
insane.
It is insane. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what's your screen time?
6.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. We have an unverified 6 hours right here. But my point is, people say I work too hard. I'm like, well, I'm on my phone for 9 hours.
Mhm.
Do I really work that hard? Or am I just like, am I really working that hard? We
Yeah.
go back to like, generations where people used to wake up at 5 in the morning because they had to like milk cows and get eggs and like those people worked hard.
True. I
People
agree.
say, oh, I worked hard. I'm like, really? Because I passed like 5 houses with a crew full of people on the roof replacing the shingles all day long in
Yeah.
105-degree weather. Like that's hard work.
That is.
Your movers,
Mhm.
those people work hard.
I agree.
I'm over here playing on my phone all day. And we're like, oh, I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think we work hard enough.
I think we work too much.
Yeah, cool. Next. Oysters, overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
Underrated.
For
Ding,
sure.
ding, ding. You are correct. Why do you love oysters?
It's apart from being an aphrodisiac, I think it's just
Apart from
lovely.
being an
I mean,
aphrodisiac, apart from the utility,
when you pair it up with the right sort of
with the right
wine,
dating
or
app.
yeah. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's interesting, the consistency, which I know a lot of people are not a fan of. But what are your thoughts?
I think they're fantastic.
Right?
I had an oyster here in Dallas, actually. We're at a nicer restaurant. I mean, most oysters, right?
Mhm.
And so we're sitting there having oysters, and this little white, almost translucent little crab. It's like this big, size of like a dime.
Mhm.
Like crawls out from under the oyster and starts running across the table.
No.
At first, I freaked out. I'm like, oh, there's a
A bug.
insect, a
Yeah,
bug in
yeah.
my oyster, and I'm out with my wife, and so I trap it under the cup, right? Because I'm like a child in my heart. I trap it,
Yeah.
and then as a adult, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna use this evidence to not have to pay for these oysters, right? And so the lady comes up, and I'm like, yo, there's a bug in my oysters, and you're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's right here, and I showed her, and she's like, oh, that's really weird. And then the owner comes over, and the owner's job is to always explain to you why that's normal.
Right, of
Like,
course.
oh no,
Yeah.
that just actually means they're really fresh.
Yeah.
He's like, no, these little crabs, they burrow in there, and that just means they're really fresh. It's so fresh.
Aw.
Not only the oyster's still alive when you're eating them, but their crabs in there are alive too.
That's one way of seeing
And there
it.
was another crab under another
Oh
one.
my god.
And then I kind of liked them. I was like, oh, they're cute.
You ate them?
I didn't eat the crab.
Okay, good.
But I was impressed with the freshness. We'll just
Yeah.
say that of them. It was weird though. I'd never seen a little
Mhm.
white baby crab.
Yeah, no, I don't think you should.
Is it? Oh, I did eat the oysters though. They were decent.
Okay.
Yeah, they were decent. I like oysters. Some people don't like them. Actually, GLOMO. A lot
Yeah.
of GLOMO people don't like oysters.
Mm,
Adrian, not an oyster fan, says it tastes like
no.
boogers. I hate that take, but he says it. Adam, not an oyster fan, right? Just
No.
pass.
Maybe you should take them out for a happy hour at
And
an
just eat
oyster
all the
bar.
oysters
Yeah.
myself. Let them eat like the oyster crackers. I like the oysters. This is awesome. I've had a lot of fun. I know we're already way over time. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Ah,
Keep you.
that felt like 2 minutes long. I loved it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And thanks for coming out. And thanks everybody for being here. Tomorrow we have the Move for Hunger telethon. It's our annual Hunger Action Month telethon. Last year we raised $50,000 for Move for Hunger. Most of that was Adrian's money, actually. So I should thank Adrian for that. But no, please be with us tomorrow for that. Anu, do you want to give us a final word to think about?
Thank you all for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you, Ben.
Yeah, it's great. And I can't wait to